Yeah,
but day one.
But I'm saying Lucky was doing it on the other side.
For sure, Lucky.
You know,
he was throwing parties and
so Lucky was doing his thing. So
fun fact with Lucky, he actually my brother, he was a rapper and he was recording at Lucky's pad.
Oh, really?
He was recording with Lucky for some time.
Who's your brother?
Marquand Wright. He went by the name Soda Pop Wright.
Okay, have you heard of him?
I'm not familiar with everybody Lucky associated with. So.
You're like, officer, I do not know everybody that Lucky's.
Yeah, it was about like 6-7 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, Lucky knew a lot of people, is all I'm saying.
Welcome to Are We Where Yet with Johnny Awesome and Tori Black.
All right, everybody, welcome out to episode 6 of the Are We Where Yet podcast. I'm your host, John Solo. That's right, John Solo. There's a movie coming out about me, May 25th? That's Han Solo. I'm joking, but I'm solo today because Victoria is on a special mission, a secret mission. I can't tell you about it. I'd have to kill you guys, and I don't want to hunt down a bunch of our listeners. We got a lot now, Rigo.
Is that right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's in the millions, and that's a lot of people to hunt down, so I don't want to have to do that. So you guys do not get to know where Victoria is at today. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Our show is sponsored by Studio Y, that's in downtown Yuma, Arizona. You say you heard about our podcast, and you heard about them on our podcast, 25% off. You can't beat that. Classes, sponsorship. You know, you get to go over there, do some yoga, some meditation. Rigo, is your wife gone yet? I think your wife wanted to go.
She got sick.
Oh, yeah.
She's been sick, so she hasn't gone yet.
No. Okay. So, yeah, you got Studio Y. That's one of our great partners. And then we also got North End Coffee House. Great coffee house. 10% off coffee or a free cookie. Can't beat that. Free cookie. You know, everybody likes cookies, so. All right. Anyway, that's sponsorships, partnerships, is what I like to say, because they're more like partners. And they really help us out with what we're doing. Without further ado, I got my man Remi Rhymez on the other side of the mic right here. What's up, Remi?
How you guys doing? It's great to be here. What's up?
So can I say Remi, or is that like that?
Remi's just fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to do the whole Remi Rhymez thing. I know some people get particular about their names or monikers and stuff.
It's just okay.
All right.
Yeah. Later on the road, I'll be changing my rap name, but like I'll still have that Remi Rhymez alias. But my real stage name is gonna be my real name, Bukhari King.
That, like, you don't even need the stage name at that point.
Bukhari King.
You sent me the little bio about yourself, and I was like, I couldn't even pronounce it. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
so,
it's all right.
Bukhari,
that's how you say it.
and then King. It's like, come on.
Yeah. My dad was a real one for naming that.
Yeah.
My dad's a real one for naming that. Bukhari King. I didn't want Bukhari King to be, or Bukhari for short, to be my rap name in the first place when I was like 12, when I wanted to make up a rap name, because I feel like everyone's gonna misspell it and mispronounce it and miss everything else of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted it to be different, and I came up with Remi Rhymez at the age of 12. And I was thinking about like my stage name Rhymes, but I was like, nah, that's just too. It doesn't really roll off the tongue as well. So I just wanted to put Remi Rhymez. I wanted to spell it Rimmy, but my grandma thought. I told my grandma about that. She was like, no, spell it Remy, not Remy like the drink, but Remy like the hair product. It was a hair product called Remi,
okay.
Remi.
I'm unfamiliar with that hair product. Rigo, no, we were both unfamiliar with that hair product.
Yeah.
So when I think Remi, I think like a Remington.
Yeah.
Like the gun, and so that's what I typically think of. So it's not the gun; it's a hair product.
It's a hair product.
You heard it here first on the Are We Where Yet podcast. It's a hair product, and it's not a gun, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, it goes full circle, because
that's what you got?
I got I don't have the hair product on. I just have like long dreads that I maintain a lot with hair. I just like wash my hair a lot. So
And was that the product it was used for?
That
was for dreads?
Remi?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never really looked up anything about the hair product Remi. I just knew that it was a hair product because Reba told me that.
That's cool. I dig it. Yeah. I dig it. So, but because you're not the typical rapper, you're not packing heat. You don't even talk about that. So, first of all, let's just get into it. People are probably wondering, why do we got this young MC? Because you're young. Yeah. How old are you?
18.
You're 18. So in the song you said 17. So you wrote that song before you turned 18?
Yeah, it was like last year. It was last year when I wrote it. It was like last year when I was at the fair. It was just something that I was recording, and I just wanted to get some stuff off my chest. And it was like a beat. It was a beat I got. I had a beat available, so I just spat over it on my computer, and then that was that. But like, you know what? I was thinking, you know what? I have to release this. I have to make a music video of this, and the fair was a perfect fit.
So people are probably wondering what video we're talking about as well. So we'll get a little background information. So actually, I think it was my brother-in-law, Fausto Lopez, also goes by Legal Alien, posted up a video and of you, and it was you at the fair, and he's like, you got to hear this young cat. And so I checked out the video, and I'm like, nah, this dude ain't from Yuma. You know, there's no way this ain't from Yuma. This doesn't look like, what I grew up with, typical homegrown stuff. They look like real polished.
That's offensive, John.
No. Rigo's great. There's
plenty of good people here in Yuma.
No, that's not what I mean, Rigo. I'm already getting into it. But what I'm saying is the way that you were spot on with the people. It takes a lot to put a video together. Yeah. And you were spot on with the lip syncing. You got to lip sync to it. You got to make sure your mouth matches up with the timing of the video. And when I saw that, you were precise. And so that was like, man, that showed me, okay, well, something's different here. There's something really different. And some of like just the angles and the shots that they got, it's like, okay, this creative.
There were so many.
Yeah. So I was like, I got to know more about this dude. And then I found your YouTube page. Yeah. And that's when I first contacted you, was on the YouTube page. It was like, okay, this dude is from Yuma, so I got to get him on and find out, where is he trying to go? So are we where yet? So that's going to be the main thing, but we'll get in that in a minute.
All right.
We'll talk about the where, but let's just talk about, first of all, you're 18. You wrote that song when you're 17. You knew this one was going to be like the single, right?
Yes, sir.
This one's going to be it. So who did the beat?
The one who did the beat, his name is Vibes Paranon. That was a guy who, he was a guy who contacted me on Facebook. I was like, yo, I love your music. I love everything you do. Like, here's some beats. And he knew me because I met his brother through Theater Day, It was an event at Gila Ridge for all the drama kids, because I'm a drama student. I'm in Kofa High School drama. Okay. I love, I do theater there. So I was there for that trip, and we met and we was like, hey, what's up? I was like, hey. He was like, I like your hair. I was like, hey, man.
Go back to the hair. The hair is the hair. The hair's the thing.
That's why I can't cut this. Yeah. So as soon as we shook hands, we were tight. Like, we were like this.
So he did the beat, and he's local too then.
Yeah, he's local.
Okay.
He's local.
So he did the beat, and the beat, where can you find the beat? We'll give a shout out to your YouTube page right now, just so where people are listening, they can also go check out the music video we're talking about. So where do you find that?
The beat?
Or no, the music video.
The music video. You can find it on YouTube. Just type in Remi Rhymez, REMI space RHYMEZ. The song is called April 9th. And you can just find it on there. You just type it in like that.
Yeah, and I think last I checked, it was over 10,000 views on Facebook.
Yeah.
So you also got a lot of shares. It was kind of going viral on Facebook. People were sharing and sharing and sharing.
Yeah,
so.
I was like, what? I did not think it was gonna go this far, because
you had no idea.
I had no idea, because the most I ever got was like 5K on the Facebook. Mm-hmm. And even those were great. Even those had like a lot of likes. But this one like doubled that. Yeah. And sometimes tripled it.
Yeah. So I was keeping an eye. So I'm like, dang. So it really impressed me, because a lot of these young rappers, I'm old. I didn't know if you knew that or not, but so I grew up. So when when hip hop really started to say something to me, it was about 93. And it was when Wu-Tang came out. And Wu-Tang was talking about something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like Wu-Tang was like, they appealed to my intellectual side, my thinking side, even though they weren't too intellectual, but they were saying things like, you know, Socrates and philosophy and like talking about the martial arts stuff. So that got me into hip hop. That was like, dang, this is something else. Like, don't get me wrong. I love Dre. I love Snoop Dogg back then. I grew up listening to NWA. I remember I was 8 years old when my cousin came from LA and gave me an NWA and Ice-T tape. You know, so I loved it. But then it was like, when it really took shape for me is when Wu-Tang came out, and Wu-Tang was like on another tip. So when I look at you and I look at all the rappers that are out right now, you're on another tip. You know, because here, I think music industry swings like a pendulum, right? It goes hard to the left, hard to the right. I don't think I'm doing that right with my right hand. So Rigo, we're gonna have to edit that out of the video. But but it swings. So here's the thing. So like, to me, it's been like a lot of dumb rappers. Like, and when I say dumb, I mean like, it's like they're not saying anything, and they know they're not saying anything.
I don't know.
You know, so it's like, it's just the melody, which is cool because sonically it appeals.
Yeah.
You know, there's that appeal to it. But like, you had that sonic, and then you were saying something. You were talking about like your feelings, how you growing up, your school, what you feel, like your friends, you know. And then you kind of mentioned a little bit about, I think, autism, and it was just like you were saying feelings. So to me, it's like, okay, this is the perfect swing to go hard to the right now, hard to the other angle, to where people are like fed up of the mindlessness stuff, the stuff where it's just like, okay, cool, yeah, but you're not saying something. Give me some substance. We're hungry. We just got a bunch of empty calories. So you're coming in like, all right, I got what you need. So that's when I was like, okay, this kid, he it's the up and coming. It's the swinging to the other side.
It's like a nutrition supplement.
There you go.
Yeah.
So were you on that tip, or were you just like, this is who I am?
I was like, this is who I am. Like, this is me. I was just going to rip myself open, you know?
You rip yourself open. So you mentioned a little bit about your theater. I was in theater production at KOFA.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it all comes back full circle.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So I was helping building the sets for the theater guys, and I was always too chicken to do theater myself, you know. I dig it, but I always had stage fright, man, like mad stage fright.
Yeah.
Even as a rapper, like mad stage fright. So I was like behind the scenes. I was comfortable, but so you got a little bit of that. So acting,
yes. That's something. That's a cushion to fall back on. That's something. You know, with acting is another career I want to have, another component I want to be successful at. Because I feel like every rapper, every singer, every artist should also find another career, another endeavor, so their brand and their career has a shelf life. You know, because rap is a very it's a young man's game. Hip hop is a young man's game, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And I've been a little bit of history. If you listen to episode 1 of the podcast, I've been in the game for quite a while. I actually started rapping. You said you were 11?
Yeah, 11.
I rapped, I think I was 11. And the first dude I actually rapped to was one of me and Rigo's friends, this guy named Alex. Rigo probably doesn't even know this, but it was at McGraw, and Alex was in the bathroom, and we just happened to get a bathroom pass at the same time, and I'm like, hey, Alex, check this out. I can rap. And I said a little rap to him, and he was like, yeah, that's cool, but I need to go back to class now. You know, that was my debut.
I'll ask if he remembers that.
Yeah, ask Alex if he remembers. But I was about that same time, and I was just like pretty impressed by some of the people that were doing it at that time, which was like Vanilla Ice and whatnot. But you know what I mean? It was like, it was what it was. And I did my little rhyme, and then moved on from there. So I'm a little familiar with it, started a record label. And one of the things in a record label is we look for dudes like you. And when I say dudes like you is, so I told a friend that I work with, I said, I'm going to be interviewing this dude, Remi Rhymez. Have you heard about him?
Yeah.
I heard about him. He comes to my house and he sells me lemon heads. Yeah, so I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, that's how he gets money for like studio time, and he makes money. He goes around and he sells stuff. And I'm like, that's it. People don't know that. That's when, if you talk to an A&R in at a record label, they look for people that are hustling their music, Not if how much talent you have. Talent can come. They'll make you sound good in the studio.
Yeah.
But if you're selling yourself and your product, that's who they want. So how'd you come up with that? Selling candy.
Okay. So it all comes back when I was about 13. I was about 13, and I just had this tendency of waking up so early. It was like by the time when because my dad always comes here for my birthdays. And yeah, my dad was like, you know what, son, you wake up so early, you need a job. I was like, I was laughing it off, and Dad was like, you know what? You can actually make a job. You can just sell candy, like a chocolate bar or something like that, for X amount of money, and then make some profit back and stuff like that. And
so your dad's kicking economics to you at a young age.
Yes, he makes his own money too. He sells his own alkaline water, actually. And I see you got that pH alkaline water. He sells that like day in and day out. So yeah, apple doesn't fall far from a tree.
Okay, so your dad sells the water, you get some candy bars, and then how'd you get the courage to go knock on somebody's door?
It just came. I was just knocking.
Do you remember the first door?
I think like it was around my neighborhood. I was just knocking on the door. Actually, I didn't really knock at a door. I just saw someone taking out their trash, or they're getting out of their car or something like that.
I'm gonna go get them.
Sometimes it's easier like that because they're there.
Mm-hmm.
They're like not confined in a house.
Yeah. You're not disturbing them in the house or outside.
It just sounds like they can't run away or hide from you.
They're like they got their trash bags right there. Like, I got you. I got some lemon heads.
I'm inevitable.
It's like Remi just showed up.
Yeah.
And so what was the first candy you sold? Do you remember that?
I think it wasn't Airheads. It was Laffy Taffies.
Laffy
you know
Taffy.
those long Laffy Taffies?
Yeah.
Those like foot long Laffy Taffies. I had like the flavors were like strawberries and green apples and I guess cherries and blue raspberries. So I was just selling those. The first one who invested in my little candy selling career is my auntie. Auntie.
She this is like you got some family that's into economics, huh?
Yeah,
she's like, I'm gonna invest in this youngster. So she bought you some candy?
Yeah, she bought me some candy.
She's like, I want 10%.
No, she just said like, just sell candy. This is
you. Like, here, I'm gonna bless you with this. Now go make some money. Okay.
Yeah, she was by that time she was just visiting from she lives in LA. She visited here for about a week, and then she was like, you know what, your father's right. You should sell some candy. I'm like, okay. I just followed suit. I was a sponge, and later on I was just selling everything for 50 cents, and then the last box. She bought me like 3 types. Laffy Taffies, I guess one of those like roll-ups or something. I guess. I don't remember that. And Airheads. And the last box I had was Airheads. And then I needed more money in the fair, so I wanted to sell more Airheads and more Airheads.
Oh, so the Airheads. Okay.
Because the Airheads made me more money. It made me more profit.
So you're smart now. You're like, okay, you're doing the books. You're going back. You're like, okay, I got so much off of Laffy Taffy. I got so much off of this, about the product. Okay, what everybody's wanting right here is some Airheads. And so you got some more, you invested more money into it, and then you ended up making money. So you went around and you took that money, and did you put it in studio time, or where'd you put that money?
I put it in, I just put it in some like lunch money or anything, or just like clothes or the fair or something like that. And when I got older, I started putting that money into making my own CDs.
Okay, there you go.
Started selling those CDs, and then I started selling those Airheads to for New Jersey, because I always go to New Jersey for the summer with my dad. So I always want to like save up, because there's always something for me that has to cost me money that I'd really like. Like not studio time, but like types of clothes or types of products that I could sell to. So
So you went back and basically you reinvested either in yourself or something else that's going to make you more money in the long run.
Yes.
So like when I got your bio, you said entrepreneur. So that's your entrepreneurship right there. You're learning on the streets, the hard knocks, just making it happen. Cornering people when they're taking out the trash. Just like, all right, you want some candy? It's
like some conjuring move.
Yeah, man. So, and then you started selling your CDs door to door because I went this morning. I go for a walk every morning. I get up early too. I went for a walk and I said, I talked to this dude I normally talk to at the Giant gas station. And I was like, I'm about to interview this dude, Remi Rhymez. He's like, yeah, about like 3 years ago, that dude came to my house selling a CD. So he knew who you were because you knocked on his door selling him a CD. So I'm like, oh, have you heard his new stuff? He's like, no. So I showed him your video and the dude was feeling it. It's like, oh man, this kid got potential. Yeah. So I was like, everywhere I go, people know about you. I was like, where have I been at,
Yes, it all comes around. Like when you're trying to, when you try to make a name for yourself, everything works out. Mm-hmm. Everything works out. I was always focusing on myself because I never really had any friends. I always had associates.
Okay, so you say that in your music, so you're kind of honest about that. So what do you mean no friends? Because kind of even your bio, you say antisocial, but you don't seem like an antisocial guy to me. Yeah. But you just see somebody that more like a dude that like Tesla. I don't know if you know anything about Tesla, but Tesla went to his laboratory. Like that was his favorite place to be. Yeah. That's where he was more comfortable. Like I need to go. I need to create. I need to be about my business. Is that more like what you would say? That's
something I would say. Something I would say. That was my bedroom was my safe haven.
It was your safe haven.
That was my safe haven. And I talk about that extensively on my album, my diaries, my notepad. By the way, you can check out my diaries, my notepad on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, YouTube, wherever. And there's this poem called "The Friend," and it talks about me just being trapped, being imprisoned to this friend, which I talk about how your light's like a sun. You even stuffed the skeleton. You even saw the skeletons in the claws that I stuffed them. But as time progressed, I was trapped. That person was a drug. Mm-hmm. That person was like a cigarette or like a bag of weed or something like that. I always needed that. And I wrote in sincerely, my friend, my bedroom. And it all breaks down to me being antisocial and not wanting to socialize with everyone. Because everyone, when I had like friends, I was just hanging out with them like for like a couple months tops. And then they were starting to, disown me. So I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do things my way. So...
And you kind of mentioned that too in your music. I know, like if you want to do it done right, you got to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So you kind of do it all. So have you learned how to record? You use any type of recording software, or you still kind of have to work with somebody for that?
I learned by. I don't want to say I learned by myself because my brother, he was in a studio before I was, so he taught me to like. Not be like so loud, not be make sure your recording is
He showed you the ropes. Big brother was there like, hey man, I've been in the booth and
he showed me GarageBand. Okay. And I started rapping on GarageBand, and as time grew by, I was just doing things by myself. And when I was affiliated with that one label, FRE, it was this guy named Aztec. He showed me the ropes more. And he told me like, hey, make your vocals a lot more crisp, a lot more clear. Don't have like bad quality music because bad quality equals bad marketing. So,
so you want to go out, you got to put your best foot forward. So people showed you the ropes. But that's cool. That's cool. So getting back to your bio a little bit, I noticed you said your inspiration, which is very unique. I'd say John Cena. Like I don't watch wrestling. I just know of him because every once in a while my son will come and try to tackle me and say John Cena or do something, and he'll he'll want to throw blows. But so that's all I know. So how does John Cena equal into inspiring you to rap?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm a devout, unabashed pro wrestling fan, like for years, since I was 6 years old. When I was 6 years old, I was at my cousin's house, and he had this game called SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. It was a really incredible game. It was just wrestling. I thought it was boxing, but with people with costumes.
Oh, okay.
With Halloween costumes.
Yeah, they dress up. It's theatrics.
Yeah, I thought it was just a boxing ring, but they weren't really boxing. They were just fighting in Halloween suits.
Oh, okay.
It was.
You kind of described it actually perfectly. I think that's wrestling.
Yeah, I was playing the game with my brother, and it was a John Cena versus Rey Mysterio, and we were just hooked on it. So then I discovered that it was actually a real thing, and I saw it on TV when I was 6, and then I just started watching, and I started watching, and I started watching, and when I was like 11, I discovered that John Cena was a rapper.
So he's a rapper.
John Cena. Yeah, he was a rapper. He doesn't rap anymore, but he was a rapper, and I was like so hooked to like who he was and what he did that I was just listening to his old promos back in 02 and 03 and 04 and 05 and a little bit of 06, and he was
so he had some rhymes, and then you're like, okay, like
he was dropping rhymes on his opponents and stuff like that.
All right.
And I was watching him in the 5th grade, and he was just laying on him, and I was like, you know what? I have some enemies in my school that I could do that to.
Oh, all right. So there's a little bit of that. Some of the aggression came out of Remy. Some bottled up aggression. Like, all right, these ex-friends, they're about to get it.
Yeah.
Damn.
So they weren't really good at all. They were just corny. But it was my first time rapping. So.
It is what it is. So like like a first time a baby tries to walk, like you don't be like, oh no, that sucks. Yeah, give it up. You let that baby do what it has to do until it fully forms and it walks and takes a few steps and then a few steps more. You don't judge it. So that's the same way we're rhyming. You just do what you got to do, But when I learned, I just copied everybody else's songs, and I would just learn it back and forth, and saying everything Eazy-E said. I don't have a '64 Impala. I don't drink OE, but I was saying those rhymes over and over again just to develop a pattern. And then boom, you come out, and then you start to get your own style. You start to get your flow. You start to get it. So, so you had that aggression. So, did you battle rap?
I did battle rap. I was battle rapping when I was in 7th grade. I was just rapping to other kids, and there was this one kid. He was an 8th grader. His name was Jonathan Moreno.
Okay.
And he was like, hey, you know what? Let's rap battle. And there was like this whole group. And I was like, you know what? Let's get it. Let's get it. I was excited about this.
You went over there. You went to the corner. You got your belt, your heavyweight champion belt right there.
I didn't really have a championship belt. I just had my backpack.
You got your backpack on. You put your backpack. You got your notebook full of rhymes too. And
so
how'd it go?
It was just a back and forth thing. He spat a couple bars, I spat a couple bars. It was just back and forth. It wasn't really no rounds. It was just back and forth.
Some playful, unorthodox, we were just spontaneous.
Yeah, we were just doing that till the bell rang. And I beat him sometimes. He's beaten me. And it was a cool thing.
Dang,
it was a cool thing. And I started battle rapping some of my friends. And some was beating me, some I've beaten them, and there was this one kid I couldn't stand, and he couldn't stand me, and like we've had some rap battles, like I've beaten him, he's beaten me, and I've beaten him back. So,
that's exciting. I growing up, same thing at Kofa. I did a lot of rap battles during between periods and at lunch. I'll just go up and people like, hey, let's battle.
It was fun.
Yeah,
It had your adrenaline pumping.
It got you flowing, got you going. The biggest battle I ever did, actually, Rigo over here recorded it. It was me and one of my former crew members, Mike Titan. It was like a big thing. It was a pretty packed night that night, I think. Rigo, was it?
That was a good turnout.
It was a pretty good turnout. Rigo's like, it was all right, dude. Get it out of your head. I think it was a good video, and I think, is it still on your YouTube page?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And so battling, I get it. It's fun. So that kind of helped you develop your skill a little bit more because you probably wanted to be a little bit more lyrical.
Yeah.
And your battle raps. You wanted to develop that. So any bad blood between you and these old fellow sparring partners?
Now?
Yeah.
Nah.
No?
Nah. I was in the 7th grade. I was just a kid that just wanted to rap, and like everyone wasn't really feeling it because I wasn't really all that developed yet. Mm-hmm. So everyone, like, I had a lot of haters and fans, and I wasn't very popular with everyone because I used to I was always talking to myself. I was always very lonely and stuff like that. So you went to the corner yourself. Like, you weren't pushed to the corner. You weren't exiled. You were like, no, I feel good. This is my space over here. Yeah.
This is where I chill. This is where I do my thinking. This is where I come up with ideas. This is where I meditate on whatever. And then boom, I'll show up at your doorstep and then, selling you some Airheads one day.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So you said your dad. So your dad's been an inspiration. Is he another inspiration in your life?
He is an inspiration in my life. He's been busting his chops trying to promote me and promote himself and promote my brother because he's been training in MMA. He just moved to Atlantic City, New Jersey. He's trying to train. He's training for the MMA. He's trying to get some matches in. So my dad's managing me and him.
Okay.
My dad's managing me and him. So yeah, he's been a great rock.
So he's a rock, a source of inspiration, showing you somebody that doesn't just say it, but actually does it.
Yeah.
That actually, okay, son, I want you to do this. And you couldn't be like, well, Dad, you don't do it. I don't see you doing it. It's like, no, Dad, I see you with that water, that pH 8 water, alkaline. Yeah, I see you selling that out of your trunk. So, yeah, I'm going to go get some Airheads. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So, rapping inspiration. So, it was kind of eclectic. You were kind of all over the board in your bio, like who you listen to. So, give me one. Who's your favorite?
My favorite? There's so many.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Token.
1. Never heard of him.
Token. He's a couple years older than me. Token is this one artist. He's a rapper. He's one of those rappers who really raps all that fast and stuff like that. So it pushed me to be like that. And he always had these he's always had this wordplay, and his vocabulary is off the charts, and he always pushed me to become a better rapper, and he always pushed me to broaden my horizons on in terms of punchlines and metaphors.
Oh, so he's one of those rappers. Okay, so he got the punchlines. He works on his craft. He the syllables, everything probably put together to one good package. Is that what you would say?
Yeah.
Okay, so Token, I'm gonna have to check him out. So what about maybe somebody I've heard of? Who would?
Joyner Lucas?
Nah, man.
I've heard of Joyner Lucas.
Joyner Lucas.
He's dope.
Oh, he's dope? Okay.
Yeah. He's one of those. He's a rapper that speaks on two perspectives.
Okay.
He speaks on two perspectives. The first song I've heard of him was called Ross Capicchione. It was about this kid in Detroit who was he was a teenager. He was a skateboarder, and he befriended this guy who was just initiated in a gang. And his initiation was to befriend somebody and then later kill him.
Okay.
With no witnesses, no snitches, and none of that. And when he was finally caught up, I heard this in an interview, when he was caught up, he was just sent to 30 some odd years in prison. So that was back a decade ago.
So no, I think I've heard that story. Okay, now I know who it is.
Yeah, it was up in Detroit.
Yeah, I seen a video.
Rough.
There was a video of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. So still doing music or?
Yeah, Joyner's still doing music.
Oh, cool.
Joyner's still doing music. I have like a whole bunch of inspirations. I just like to take a bite of Token, a bite of Joyner Lucas, a bite of Earl Sweatshirt, a bite of Eminem, a bite of Hobson, a bite of everyone, and just stick it all to one and just make Remi Rhymez better.
Because you sound like none of them, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So you're not like, jacking somebody's whole style. You're just like, these are some good inspirations that kind of push you to the next level, to push you farther. Like, wait a minute, he did this. Well, I'm going to go back in the lab and I'm going to do this. It's like, two scientists kind of competing in the laboratory saying, okay, all right, I invented this. It's like, damn, man, okay, I got to go back. I'll be right back. And then coming out like, well, look at this now, So basically, that's how you look at these MCs.
Yeah.
That they're just inspiration. They're not like, you're not a copycat of anybody. From what I've heard, I did hear somebody new, Q something. I don't know if you heard of this dude. I don't have my phone on me, but some new rapper that will.i.am is pushing. He's actually really, really good, and he's on the conscious tip. So that kind of proves my theory of like this pendulum swing, where this dude is kind of blowing up and getting some fame now and getting some love, and he's all that about that conscious.
Yeah.
It's Q. No, what is it? No, LGPQ or something like that.
Oh.
Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, so this dude was pretty nice, and same type of thing, no cussing. They're not talking about the foulness, talking about how you could better your life. Inspirational raps, which moves me because basically I want to be an inspirational speaker, So when I heard your stuff, I was like, nah, he's saying something that kids could, you're not trying to put the kids down. You're trying to like, no, you basically you could do this too. You're out there like kind of speaking to them, not to speaking down on them, which is good coming from the battle rap, because that's how I started, And so where you have to put everybody down, but then it's like you developed in your own style, and now you're speaking to what's relatable to you. You're not faking the funk. So that's great. And so let's get back to acting. So are you in plays? So if I could go to like Kofa or like Gila Ridge, I can go check you out.
I've been in plays. I've been in a handful of plays. I started freshman year. I always wanted to do drama in high school. So you know what? I'm just going to go to drama, just switch my class from band to drama and just do this. And I first started as an attendant in Dracula my freshman year. Then my sophomore year, I made it to the production and performance class, which was like the top dog drama kids. Mm-hmm. And I made it. The class was, we were working on a play called Dr. Evil and the Basket of Kittens. It was double casted, and I made the first cast, and I made it as Shirley, the sidekick of Dr. Evil.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was fun. I was still green. I wasn't all developed yet. I was still trying to find my place. I was still trying to get better at it, but it was a great performance of mine. And we started doing charity shows. We were doing charity shows. It was
So the theater club is doing charity shows? Who's doing the charity stuff?
Production and performance. The drama class.
Okay.
We did acting out for Hope my sophomore year. It was all of it went to the Yuma Community Food Bank. It was about finding hope, not giving up. And we were performing in these 30 by 60s. It was a show where you have 30 plays and you try to perform it in under 1 hour. And we had a huge chalkboard for the audience to pick which play would be like number 30 or number 7
Wow.
or number 6. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. And yeah, I was in my first musical in my sophomore year it was Cinderella. I was John Michelle. I was with Gabrielle in that play, and it was my first time kissing on stage.
Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, it was huge.
Was she hot?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we'll just say that. You don't have to say names or who it is, but maybe she's listening. So yeah, oh yeah, of course she was. But so acting, that's antisocial but acting. So that's kind of like a little bit of a dichotomy. You would think like, wait a minute. But no, you got personality, but you just choose to kind of be by yourself. And then when you're on stage, you can come alive.
I come alive. When I'm on stage, I'm a people's person. I'm like for everybody. So I'm for everybody because I don't curse, which means I can widen my variety of listeners that can listen to me and won't feel uncomfortable about it. And I could send a message as well.
So do you have a message to send?
Sometimes I have a message to send by like giving them like dope punchlines. That's kind of my message.
That's cool. That's dope. You know, I get down.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can rap, I can act, and I was like one of those. And in my sophomore year, I auditioned again. And I made it from freshman year. I auditioned for production and performance, and by that time they ranked who made it. Whoever made it, they were on the list, and they were ranked on how good they were on that performance. I was ranked 27 out of 30 kids, and sophomore year I did it again, and I ranked number 4.
So that's a jump.
Yeah, that's a huge jump.
Yeah, that's a jump.
And in my junior year, I started performing on this British play, But Why Bump Off Barnaby? It was my first time being the butler and being the one who like murders the guy because the butler did it.
Yeah, there you go. So you're the butler in it. You did it, and so was that a good experience? Did you have to stab somebody on stage, or
not like a real stab? It was just like
well, I hope you didn't.
I didn't do that. I didn't do that. It was like all low key.
Oh,
and
okay.
When I was caught, and they had this huge, I want to say painting, and it drops down on me, and I was under the table, and they try to pick up a cutout of me, a flat wooden cutout, and I was like,
oh, gotcha. So that's something I would have done back in the theater production. Make those cutouts. That's pretty cool. So so that's something you want to fall back on. You're saying so rap comes first, acting fall back on.
Yeah.
Acting inspiration. Who's somebody that inspires you acting, just in case you don't make it in the rap game? Like who's an inspiration? Who do you watch and be like, all right, I kind of model myself, or I take a bite here, take a bite there? Who would you say is in that sphere?
The one with the acting, I think it was just Dwayne Johnson. The Rock.
The Rock, another wrestler.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, wrestling just gave me like so many inspirations to do other careers like rapping and acting. And it's just amazing how like wrestling like shaped up my life.
And ironically enough, not a wrestler. You didn't want to get in the ring and wrestle anybody, but you wanted you to be a rapper and an actor.
I was like in like the wrestling team. I wasn't really like that good because it was just the collegiate wrestling, the real wrestling, the boring one.
Yeah, nobody watches that. Nobody watches that. I'm just kidding, Kelvin. I'm going to have Kelvin Gaslam on. So he grew up in wrestling here at Cibola.
So yeah, I always wanted to do the professional wrestling, the fake one.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, wrestling is fake. I'm like, but it's entertaining. I wanted to do that.
Yeah, it's basically a soap opera for men. Where you get down on it, you know what I mean? Back in my day, it was like Macho Man Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant.
Yes.
Macho. You remember Macho Man, Rigo?
Of course I do.
Yeah, Macho Man. Oh, he just got worked up and start sweating, and then Slim Jims later in his life. But anyway, there's a documentary about Andre the Giant on HBO right now. If you check that out, there's one that he had a crazy life. He had a disease that kind of made him a giant, but that's kind of off topic. But anyway, so rapping. Are we where yet? So do you think you kind of found your style? Like, where are you at on that? Like, have you found where you're going to kind of leap forward from? You said you might change your name.
Yeah, I might. I'm young. I'm 18. I'm about to graduate in a few weeks, and I think I'll find my true self when I hit college. I I think I've dipped my toes on so many styles. I dipped my toes on the boom bap. I've done it on the electronic rap thing, on that rap style. And I've done a mixture of both. And I think the mixture of both is best for me right now.
Okay. So you're kind of toying with styles and seeing kind of what direction you want to take. And you think in college you're going to kind of refine it down a little bit, go back to your government name and like really come out. Okay. So college, let's talk about that real quick. So what are you going to college for?
Grand Canyon University. I'm going there. I'm going to get my Bachelor's of Arts in Theater.
Okay, so there's the acting.
Yeah, the acting. I was I got that through Thespian Conference. Thespian Conference is like this huge event in Phoenix in the convention center where like a whole bunch of theater kids from a whole bunch of schools from like Utah and Phoenix and like Lake Havasu and everywhere else comes in and just networks with each other and goes to different workshops like dance workshops, improv workshops, just a whole bunch of like cool workshops. And there's this thing for seniors when 3 students representing each high school performs for scholarships. They compete for scholarships. And I was one of those students to compete for scholarships. And that's how I got the Grand Canyon scholarship.
So you got a scholarship out of it.
Yeah, I got a scholarship out of it.
So you could battle rap and you could battle act.
Yes.
That's cool. That's it.
Battle rap and battle act.
Battle act. Wow, dang, that is good. That's good. So you got the scholarship, and so everybody knows Tupac, right? I actually
Tupac.
I got a Tupac shirt on. It's kind of unique, but anyway, so Tupac, right? So here's Tupac. It's theater school. People don't know. Well, people know more now that the movie came out, and then there's kind of a background in his life. But I've been following Tupac since his early days back in Digital Underground. So I knew he was just a backup dancer, and I kind of knew a little bit of the early history of him. But it wasn't until he did the movie Juice. So he does this movie Juice, and then he takes on the character of Bishop. So like Tupac like radically transforms after he does a movie and takes on this character of a guy he played in a movie. He said, "This is my persona from now on. I'm this thug rapper. I'm this and that." So be careful. You know what I mean? Don't go out, get in some movie and then come out. Now I don't want to see you with guns and, chains and stuff like that, promoting that lifestyle, but you're pretty cool, right? You're going to stay away from that. You're going to be good.
I'll be good.
Some would argue he became a legend because he took on that personification.
But and then he got shot.
That's part of him being the legend.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, everything happens for someone's reason.
Yeah, that reason, but it's like legend and get shot. Like to me, I'm like gonna weigh those out, and then I'll be like, you know what? I don't want to get shot to be that legend. And actually,
you don't.
Yeah, I don't. But some people do. So check this out. After he died, and after Biggie died, are you familiar with DJ Quick?
DJ Quick.
No,
not so much.
That's cool. So DJ Quick actually came out in the Source magazine and said he's done with the gangster persona after that, because he said, you know what, our words have power. And he knew Tupac wasn't a gangster. He knew Biggie wasn't a thug. Like he knew that these guys weren't what they said they were when they were rapping. So he's like, but how'd they get shot? Like he said it in this interview that words must have power. So he's done rapping about that type of stuff, and he totally, DJ Quick, probably the reason why you haven't heard about him is because he just went back into the lab and just started making music for people and doing beats and productions, and went to the studio side and quit all the gangbanging stuff and talking about that, because it's like wait a minute, maybe we're calling this stuff upon our heads. Maybe we're saying this stuff because what Tupac did Machiavelli about dying, and then Biggie did Ready to Die. Two things that he's kind of speaking this stuff. It's like maybe we're calling this death upon us. So this little quick fact about DJ Quick and kind of what he said about words.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
So words are powerful. Like I don't know if you know anything about the Bible. It talks about like the word has power of life and death in it. So I hold that pretty powerful, man. Powerful. You could go up to somebody and say, "Hey, man, you're going to be something when you're older." Tell a little kid that, 5 years old, and he's like, "What? I'm gonna be something?" And that kid could become something because you planted that little seed, and that seed germinated, and that seed was watered by different people, and that person could become the president of the United States or the next Bill Gates or the next Steve Jobs or whatever, because you put that word. So to me, words are powerful. So when I meet somebody like you that kind of crafts their words, appreciates their words, that's when it's like, okay, all right, I get this kid. I get this kid. You know, so okay, do you still want to do acting? So if say your rapping career does take off, you would still do a little bit of rapping?
I still do a little bit of rapping, and I still do a little bit of acting.
So I'm not saying even in the future though. So like you're still gonna you would still do both. If the opportunity was right to get this movie or to be able to come out with these albums, you're going to be trying to function and figure out how to do both.
Definitely, the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. So do you have a little bit of a game plan and like how you're going to be able to structure that and how to be able to navigate that? You know what I mean? Because it's like that could be a lot to take on.
Yeah.
So do you have any type of thing? You say you already kind of go to your lab, you kind of go to your quiet place and do your thing. So I know I'm giving you a little bit to think about, but hey, you're 18, you're about to graduate. The real world's coming.
Yeah, if I didn't really like learn all this earlier, the real world is gonna punch me in the face. So I was just thinking to just write everything down, like what are like and I try to break down what's the most important. Mm-hmm. What's the most essential? What's the one avenue that's gonna make me more money and like gain me more momentum in the process? So I was just gonna like jot down what's gonna go on, what's gonna happen, or what could happen, and I will just kind of like limit some time, like
I get what you're saying.
Give some time for the acting and give some time for the music.
So is that something you do? You write stuff down besides the raps? You actually write down some things, some ideas?
Yeah, sometimes when I need to when the rap career and like the theater production just coincides with each other.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you have a song just about wrestling?
I don't have one just about wrestling, but I do have a lot of punchlines about wrestling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's your go-to.
Yeah.
Well, the punchline. So what? You're about to do the people's elbow on your, or something like that? Is that like
you have go-to moves? Or?
You got, yeah.
I talk about like it's just whatever with it. Like I'm the kid to break your heart, like I'm Shawn Michaels or something.
Damn, Shawn Michaels. There we go.
Coming in clutch like Samoa Joe because he has this Kohina clutch or something like that.
If I give you a wrestler, do you think you come up with something? Like do some research and then come back to like the season 2 of the podcast and you come up with something?
I could come up with something.
I'm gonna give you some old school wrestlers.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you, and you're gonna have to do some research and watch some old like 80s videos.
Because I watch a lot of wrestling and I know like a few wrestlers. I'm not very much of like much of a new person stuff like 90s to like late 90s to 2000 like to now. Mm-hmm. I'm familiar with.
So I'm going to give you like Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake.
You familiar with him? Junkyard Dog.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Rigo?
Bushwhackers, Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
Jimmy Snuka.
Ooh, what's up? Any of those names ring a bell?
Yeah, they ring a bell.
Hacksaw, Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw, Jim Duggan. Yeah, okay. So you do have some wrestling punchlines in there, though.
Wrestling punchlines.
That's cool, but no whole wrestling song.
No whole wrestling song, which I need to do, actually.
You do? Because do they still come out to songs sometimes?
They all come to songs.
They come out to
songs.
So you could be like the dude that writes songs for these dudes.
The person that's training right now who's not in there yet.
Yeah.
He's going to use a Remi Rhymez song as his walkout song.
There it is.
That could be cool. That could be cool. Or like a veteran who's like tired of his entrance song, because there was like this one guy, Randy Orton, who was like tired of that entrance song, like Burning My Light, which I thought it was epic and underrated. But then he came with the voices in his head, but which was cool.
So check this out. You need to find out where this dude lives And when he goes out to throw out the trash, be like, "Hey, I got this song for you." You know what I mean?
Be like how I sell Airheads.
Yeah, how you sell Airheads.
I got it.
Yo, what's that? Like, whoa, what are you doing? It's like, no, yeah, here's a song, here's a CD or a thumb drive or whatever we put on music on. Nobody uses CDs anymore. John, you're showing your age. You know what I mean? Here's a thumb drive. Go put it in your computer, and then check this out, and then boom, there you go. And the next time he's coming out, it's like to a Remi Rhymez song.
John, is
like
anybody...
one of those things from Naruto, like, here it is.
Yeah, you're going to pay me and Rigo for this.
I was going to say, who's handing out thumb drives?
What do we do now? We're just
I don't know.
Emailing it? I don't know, I guess.
How do we listen to music? Streaming, right?
Yeah, streaming. We're going to iCloud it to somebody. But anyway, so yeah. So check this out, man. I respect you, man. I really do. I saw that video. I was like, okay, I got to meet this kid. You got talent. You got the drive. And like I said, I've been in the music business for quite some time, had a record label, Humble Beast, and I was the A&R. I managed the artist, and it's our artist and repertoire, but we did look for people that were slanging CDs out of the trunk. We wanted people that were hustling, people that believed in themselves. So a lot of people don't know that, is that you'll get demos nonstop. Record labels get demos nonstop. But the thing is that we want to see if you're selling it. We wanted to see if you're out there doing it. So where are you at? Are you selling them at football games? Because I knew dudes that would go to like a Cardinals game or whatever in Phoenix and just go out to the little, parking lot out there and just sell CDs. They're like, here, you got to hear my CD. Hear my CD.
I was always performing at the halftimes for Kofa, and I was always selling CDs afterwards. That was like always, that's always what I was doing.
So just to let you know, that's what record labels look for, because it's like a record label just wants to get your music, put the nice touches on it, rent you a nice vehicle for a music video or whatever, rent a nice house, film the stuff, and then have you do the work. That's what a record label wants. They don't want to do the work. A lot of people think like, oh, as soon as I get a record deal, oh, then I made it. Then there where it's at. No. You got to hustle. You got to make it. You got to do what you got to do to sell your product, sell your T-shirts.
Definitely.
Sell it. So, like, that's what record labels look for right now, people that are doing it already, people that are doing it right now, and you're doing it right now. So when I saw that, it was like I put my old A&R hat on, AR hat, and said, like, you know what? This kid's going to be something. I could see it already, and then heard 2 stories. I just talked to people like, hey, I'm going to do this podcast. It's like, yeah, he knocked on my door. I was taking out the trash, and then he's like, boo, and there he is. And he sold me a CD. So one guy was the Airheads, another guy was a CD. So I got 2 stories right there. So it's like, that's what it takes, man. So where do you want to end up? So say you're 65, retired, like, what have you done? You've acted in movies, you rapped, you did anything else? You maybe a guest starred on like the WWE one day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So what's your dream? What's it gonna look like when you're all said and done?
When I'm all said and done, I think I might be managing my kids and my grandkids and
I love
watching out for them.
That's a beautiful answer.
Watching
man.
out for them. Yeah.
That's a beautiful answer. You're gonna pay it forward. Do what your dad did for you, and you're going to look out for them.
Yeah. I'll be sitting down. I'm like, hey, kids, this is what my dad did. This is what my auntie did. This is what I did. Now I want you to follow suit. All right?
You heard it. Acting, right? Could you spit a rhyme for us, too? You did a little bit of acting. Could you go with no beat? I can't beatbox to save my life. Rigo, can you beatbox?
No.
We both can't beatbox
right now.
But can you rap? You want to spit a little something? Spit some rhyme, something off the top of your head? First time here on Are We Where Yet podcast.
Oh, anything, you want me to spit anything like from the album or anything that...
Whatever you want to spit. It could be from that song, could be from that album. I think it would just be cool to give everybody a little taste test so you see what Remi's up to.
All right. I think... could you possibly get a beat off of YouTube on the Mac right now?
I can't do a beat right now, man.
All right.
You just be acapella. Can you do acapella?
I'll just do acapella.
Okay. All right. I like that. Just forget it. You spit. You're an MC, man. You got to be hungry.
Right. Okay.
What if the next dudes, the record label's listening right now?
All right. Let's do this. Yeah. When it comes to the others, I'm just an adversary like a broken watch. I don't give no time. They lean it back cause every time I spit a rap, it goes right over their head like a limbo line. Yo, like it's winter, they don't make that heat. They rhymes are like a flesh wound cause they ain't that deep. They be talking gang rhymes and they grip a steel. The only thing getting sprayed is a windowsill. Yo, seems like every day I got new fans cause I know I grind harder than a high school dance. Blow up like ISIS, I die hard in the track. Rappers try to act hard like Nick Cage tries hard to act. All these raps are coming from the cardiac. He isn't real with a cardiac. Say chicks plastic, don't want none of that Barbie crap. I rendered them obsolete, that's a hardy rap. Check it, seems like every day I hustle the hardest. Got no room to hang like a stuffed up closet. Yo, I'm from a city, if you got a chance of fame, then you can hate it. Cause to be quite honest, they be thinking outdated, it's my space. Here's a message to anyone saying I could've be better or better. We're making a product and making a profit my way. Rising up slowly and I'm taking the next step. It is my stage, either get right or get left. That's it.
Wow, you set a bar for anyone.
Yeah, I'm definitely not going. Are you gonna? You want anybody else want to? Yeah, me and Rigo
Like
good.
anyone's next?
Who's next? Who's next?
Are you not entertained?
Oh man, I think that's a great way to end the podcast right there. You just spit, man. Hey, look, I'm gonna be following you. I'm literally going to be following you. I'm going to show up at your house when you're throwing out the trash can, throwing out the trash. But I'm going to be looking at you. You got the time, man. You got the skills. You got it. You're going to make something of yourself. I want to see that happen. All right. I'm going to be looking. I'm going to be watching. I want you come back on this podcast when you're famous and you're rich. You're going to promote your next movie, and me and Rigo are doing it. And I want you to come right back here. Is that good? Does that sound like a promise?
That's good.
You can make that promise?
When I make it, I'll be here.
Rigo,
Just
you
shoot
heard
me a
him.
Call.
Aren't you performing soon?
Yes, I'll be performing
on the
actually
12th, right?
next week, May the 12th. I'll be performing at the Maverick. The one who's gonna be hosting this is Sunny Ray.
Yeah, shout out to Sunny Ray.
Yeah, shout out to Sunny Ray. I'll be performing. Yeah, I'll be performing at the Maverick Bar. It's gonna be from 9 p.m. to like 12 a.m. or 2 a.m. I'm just going to be out and just dipping because I'm too young to be in a bar anyway. But anyway. Yeah, just make sure you like come there at 9 p.m. because I probably won't be there by like 9:30 or something like that.
Oh, dip in and dip out.
Yeah, just dip in and dip out. So make sure you come.
So, or if you're underage, are you allowed in there? Like, can you get like kids from your high school to show up with like bracelets or anything?
You can just show up. I don't think they're just gonna like tackle you down or something. You can show up as long as you have your parent with you.
Yeah, because we used to do underage shows, so we just kind of like corral off one of the sides, and if you had a bracelet that you could drink, and if you didn't have the bracelet, you can't drink. So I used to be a promoter, so I used to do shows, so that's how we did it. So I didn't know if it was all age. You could,
I don't know. I've never performed at the Maverick.
I've never been there. So I don't know much about the Maverick.
I've never been there either.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing. I feel like, Mom, I've never been there, Dad, or not,
So I want to give a quick shout out. Shout out to I'm just gonna give a few shout outs.
Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
Shout out to the people that are performing there. Sunny Ray, who's hosting it. All right, my chair is like falling down. Shout out to Dodie D Flashy. Like, we were performing at a talent show in my freshman year, and like we clicked. So she's performing there too. Shout out to Toe Main. Shout out to Lomeli. Shout out to Mach de Uno. Shout out to
John
Prosperous.
C.
John C. Shout out to you. Anyone else I'm missing?
What's that? You said Mikey. Mikey the Wizard? Yeah.
Mikey Wizard.
Mikey Wizard.
The producer. Shout out to Tristan, the one who produced it. Shout out to my father, Marte King. Shout out to my brother, Marquand Wright. Shout out to everyone in production and performance and everyone in the high school. And shout out to the class of 2018 because we graduated.
Oh, man, dude. I love your energy, man. Love your energy. Bunch of shout outs. You made everybody's day right now. Make sure they all listen to the podcast. Subscribe. They can get it on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, any way you consume a podcast. I think that it's on Spotify. You can get it on Spotify now.
This podcast?
And, yeah, you can get this podcast. It's all over.
Yay.
All you got to do is tell them to subscribe and check out your podcast. And then I'll be looking for Mikey Wizard's podcast. You said he has a podcast. So
yes,
that'd be a cool thing to check out. I'm going to check. You already did an interview with him, correct?
I have.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate this interview. Like I said, I'm really going to be watching your career. I think you got what it takes. And
thank you for having me, man.
Stay strong, man. Make it happen and keep positive. If you could do your best to keep that positive tip, that's like, I like music I can listen to with my kids now. You know what I mean? Like I got my kids in the car all the time. I can't be listening to what I used to listen to. So it's like, it's good. It's refreshing to put something else on for a little bit. You know what I mean? And not get called out. But Dad, you said not to say those words, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, I appreciate it. Everybody, thank you guys for listening in. Thank you guys for everybody that's helping this dude coming up. And thank you, Rigo. And shout out to Tori. She's out doing her thing right now. This has been episode 6 of the Are We Where Yet podcast. And you're going to see where this dude's going to be ending up. So keep your eyes open. Oh, real quick. How do you find out more about your music? You want to?
Oh, you can find out more on my music. First of all, just follow everything. Follow all my social medias. Facebook, Remi Rhymez. YouTube, Remi Rhymez. SoundCloud, Remi Rhymez. iTunes, Remi Rhymez. Spotify, Remi Rhymez. Everything else, Remi Rhymez. Instagram, you can just type in Remi Rhymez. Here's my Instagram handle. It's at RIZZAYYY_REMI. Snapchat, Remi Rhymez 16. Twitter, my Instagram handle. Oh, not my Instagram. My Twitter handle is at Notorious928, and my Twitter name is Light Skin Black.
You're all over the place.
Yeah,
you got them
I'm
all.
all over.
You got a MySpace?
MySpace, nah.
No, I still got a MySpace.
Yeah,
we're gonna edit that out too. All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for coming. I appreciate everybody helping this podcast, and continue to subscribe, leave a rating, a review if you can. Greatly appreciate it. And we're signing off. Peace out.